Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today I want to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. You need one if you don't have one, and I am totally kidding. And if you accidentally tapped or clicked on this without reading the description, we are actually talking about the potential end to spam phone calls. That's right, they could be going away en masse, and here's what's going on. This is coming from ZDNet. The FCC, or Federal Communications Commission, is finally going to start putting a stop to many of these spammers. The FCC is doing this by forbidding legitimate telecom companies from taking calls originating from voice service providers whose certification doesn't appear in the FCC's robocall mitigation database. Now, this means, and I quote, voice service providers will be prohibited from directly accepting that provider's traffic. Now, technically, this works because telecoms must now block traffic from, and I quote again, voice service providers that have neither certified to implementation of STIR/SHAKEN caller ID authentication standards, nor filed a detailed robocall mitigation plan with the FCC. Now, let me break that down a little bit here, because what we're talking about is Secure Telephone Identity Revisited, or STIR, and signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens, SHAKEN, which is basically caller ID on steroids. It's a protocol for authenticating phone calls with the help of cryptographic certificates. It's meant to make sure, basically, that when somebody calls you, the name showing up on your caller ID is actually really the person calling. It also lets your phone company know, in theory, who's responsible for the specific call. STIR/SHAKEN works with both landline and mobile cellular providers. Now, acting FCC chairperson Jessica Rosen-Warcel said, and I quote, "The FCC is using every tool we can to combat malicious robocalls, from spoofing from substantial fines on bad actors to policy changes to technical innovations like STIR/SHAKEN. Today's deadline establishes a very powerful tool for blocking unlawful robocalls. We will continue to do everything in our power to protect consumers against scammers who flood our homes and businesses with spoofed robocalls." This was from October 1st, meaning a few days ago. Now, the question is, will this kill all the phone spam? No. It's not, but it's going to cut it way down. Now, here's the hitch in the plan. Older time division multiplexing, or TDM, and public switch telephone network, or PTSN, based networks are still grandfathered in, and they obviously cannot use STIR/SHAKEN. STIR/SHAKEN. God, say that 5 times in a row. The FCC requires, quote, that providers using older forms of network technology must either upgrade their networks to IP or actively work to develop a caller ID authentication solution, but no date has been set for that changeover, and there's also some other loopholes. Smaller voice providers still aren't required to implement STIR/SHAKEN, and on top of that, some providers in the U.S. phone some providers that provide phone service in the United States, the people living outside of the country, are not required to participate in STIR/SHAKEN, either. So obviously there's some ways to go, but the FCC is getting more hardened on this. I still get spam calls. I see them coming in on a daily basis, but to be perfectly honest, it really does seem like it's been down now that I'm thinking about it for the last few days, and so this appears to be really thwarting that. I'd be curious to know if you're getting less spam, let's say in the last week or so, on your phone, and I obviously don't pick up the phone to numbers I don't know at this point, because there's so many different things that could have spoofed caller ID. I really don't feel like talking about my car's extended warranty 20 times a day, as I think none of us do. So I think this is good news. I think this is needed. I think the FCC is really clamping down. And I have to say that this current presidential administration has really been pushing on the cybersecurity enhancement side, on robocall side, on all of these things. So from a technological standpoint, I've been pretty satisfied with these decisions so far. I don't think anybody wants to talk about their car's extended warranty unless you actually need one and want to go find it yourself and pick up the phone and call them. So there you go. I think it's an important improvement, and hopefully you're seeing less spam. And again, I would love to hear if you are, and that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And I will never spam any of you, I promise. And please, as always, stay safe, stay online, and please stay private. Thanks, everyone.